Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be reviewing Meg Myers' second album, Take Me to the Disco. Before we get started, I want to remind you that this is simply my opinion on the album, and if you enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Meg Myers is back 3 years after her debut album, and back then she was one of my favorite discoveries of that year, and the moment she announced a new album this year, I was obviously incredibly excited. The first single that was released to promote this album was Numb, and this song certainly was a punch to the gut. Right with this one, I knew we were in for something with this album, and actually, I was a bit surprised because the album opens on a ballad, which for me is always such a tricky move because not many artists out there manage to get out of this in good shape. And thankfully, Meg here, it said right, amazingly right with Take Me to the Disco, which is a beautiful, painful ballad that shows how the album is going to be like. Actually, Numb is almost the only song that feels so aggressive melody-wise, and like I said, it is a punch that goes right through you and leaves a deep mark that actually left me quite emotional every time I listened to it. Take Me to the Disco isn't an album that would qualify as aggressive sound-wise, just like Numb suggested, and I think that might leave some people wanting more, but where Meg really shines is through her sharp lyrics, and her honesty reflects conflicts and anger, and all of this feels incredibly real. It's like the darkness is always creeping around and you can sense it through the melodies, and it makes you feel the tension and the discomfort and the negative emotions, like on the song Jealousy, for example, where it really just lets the music translate the lyrics in a way that feels very authentic. I would say that this album stays on par with Meg's first one, and in that way I don't feel like there's a clear departure from the debut, which is fine because her album, the first one, was already so amazing and had such a strong identity, and it works once again really well on Take Me to the Disco. And so far my only complaint with this album is that I wish we had more rock songs like Numb, because this one really had an impact on me, and when you listen to the album you can be a little bit surprised that it doesn't really follow the kind of constant raw energy, if I may say. Speaking of which, highlights for me on this album are Jealousy, constant, beautiful, simple ballad. It closes the album and it's perfect. The Death of Me, which is a featuring, I don't know who the male voice is, it may be obvious to others, but for me, it felt like David Bowie. I might be completely wrong on that one, obviously, but it's a bit kind of the same kind of voice, so I really like that one. It really works so well together, even though I don't really know if it's inspired by Bowie or anything, or it's just me. And obviously Take Me to the Disco, which is, like I said, the opening song. As for the rest, I feel like I need more listens to really get a sense of the album. Immediately when I listened to it once for the first time, I could tell it's a grower kind of album, so I'll definitely get through it a few more times. But for now I have to say, I still had a fantastic time listening to Take Me to the Disco. It's an album that feels raw, angry, and very powerful. You can tell music is like therapy here, and the fact that she just lets our demons out to move on, or at least get a better understanding of them, that really makes it for a pretty dark but very interesting album. And that is why I give it 4 stars. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to tell me what you think of the album down below, and I'll see you next time.